What is going on, guys? Houndish here, and today I thought I'd talk about some preparation that we can do for the April update, which is coming pretty soon. So obviously I want to just go over a few things that can kind of maximize your experience and how easily you might transition into the new content and pick up new gear and all of that kind of thing. Obviously it depends whether you really want to unlock loads of stuff kind of early or quickly after the release of the content, or whether you want to kind of play it a little bit slowly, because obviously it's going to be a gap again until we get any other content. But either way, I'm going to go through some things to think about. So of course everyone always says this whenever there's a major content release or update: setting up your faction ranks like Vanguard, Crucible, Dead Orbit and all that kind of stuff can be pretty awesome to get some potentially new light level stuff or some new gear from those old Vanguard, Crucible weapons or the factions. That's pretty cool. And as well as this, it's worth thinking about getting your Queen's Wrath and House of Judgment stuff set up as well, which can be a little bit tricky and long-winded across all these different factions, but we will be seeing some new gear dropping from packages from both of those, I do believe. And then even Cryptarch rank, if you can, is something worth thinking about, especially with those new emblems and shaders that we've seen locked away in the booths that now appear that they're going to actually drop in the April update. So all of that kind of stuff, as always, is worth thinking about. Now, other things that you can kind of think about which may be pretty useful would be to complete the weekly Crucible bounties and just have them ready on your characters if possible. Could yield new exotics, new rewards, or new light level stuff, which could be pretty damn good. And the same can be said for Trials of Osiris gold tier bounties, which could drop again new light level or potentially gear after the update. And this could be something pretty useful to have right there. And as well as this, while we're talking about bounties, you can stack the Trials of Osiris bounties that reward legendary marks. So some of the bounties will give 25 marks a go, and you can have 2 of those per week. So in theory you could have at least another 150 legendary marks available, as well as the kind of capped 200 that you can carry on a character, which will be pretty cool. We don't know the precise kind of levels of gear you might purchase with marks, but for year 2 exotic blueprints, infusion, all of that stuff is pretty useful to have. And as well as this, even the Iron Banner bounties, if you're willing to kind of save any of those and part with them, will give you some legendary marks. So if it turns out to be something you can use, you may as well try and keep it now if you have the time. So up next is to just simply keep your strange coins, 3 of coins and motes of light for the next couple of weeks. It's going to be useful to have plenty of those. In fact, try and grind for them if you can, which is what I've been doing, is just trying to kind of keep them from Crucible matches, strikes, even playing old Prison of Elders just for fun and using 3 of coins and stuff. Plenty of PvP in general, PvE activities, so you'll slowly gain plenty of this stuff. You could even run old raids if you really wanted to collect a bunch of motes, turning those shards in at the speaker. So up next, exotic engrams. Now this is an interesting one, so if you have any now, they're probably worth saving. Previously in year 2 they have managed to drop exotics that have been released later into the game. I'm not sure how this might work with new light level of exotic stuff that's dropping, but they're definitely worth stacking either way. I've got a collection here of a whole bunch of stuff, and if these were dropping above 320 at all, then this would be pretty damn useful, as well as picking up any newly released or returning exotics that might drop out of these engrams. Now on to a couple of other things. Antiquated runes are probably going to be worth having, which give you the tier 3 Court of Oryx, because 335 artifacts will be dropping in Court of Oryx in the new update. So whatever the system is for that, whether we just kind of play and grind or whether there's any kind of questification of it, either way, antiquated runes or general Court of Oryx runes are going to be pretty useful for dropping some new light level artifacts and other stuff inside of Court of Oryx. So they're worth kind of getting ready now. And then finally, another thing that's worth thinking about potentially is holding checkpoints for the weekly challenge mode inside of King's Fall raid, which will actually be Golgoroth on the week of the release of the April update. And although a patch will be required, as far as we know, to drop the 335 stuff from King's Fall, they have said, and this is of course if this is correct, because Bungie do keep changing things, and of course if it even kind of works depending on their reset times, whether they keep challenges in, we're not entirely certain, but it could be useful having that checkpoint, because according to Bungie, 330 level items will be able to drop from King's Fall hard. And imagine if we get the same artifact and a piece of armor from Golgoroth, that could be 2 330s immediately. It's something to consider for trying to get into that end game a little bit quicker in terms of light level. Like I said, we don't know entirely whether that will work, given resets and everything else, but it's worth thinking about nonetheless. So there's just a bunch of things you can consider to kind of prepare for the April update. Of course, it just depends how ready you want to be, or whether you want to kind of rush through the content or just kind of do it as it comes everything like that. But these are the things I can think of that are worth considering. I'm definitely going to be doing them, obviously, as well as being a YouTuber, which will be, useful to get some of that content covered. It's generally, I really enjoy Destiny and grinding plenty of stuff, so that's pretty cool. So let me know down below if this video has been useful, or if you have any tips or things worth thinking about in order for getting ready for the April update. If you have enjoyed the video, drop me a like and comment down below, and if you're new to the channel, you want to see a lot more Destiny content, feel free to hit that subscribe button for a lot more. But for now, you guys take it easy. I'll catch you very soon.